1991. The jeweled eyes of the wind dancer, secret, enigmatic, inhumanly patient, gazed out of the black and white photograph at Alex Karazov. The uncanny impression that a mysterious sentience exuded from the statue had to be a trick of light the lens had captured. Alex shook his head. Impossible. But now he could understand the statue's mystique and the stories that had grown up around it. The book he held was over 60 years old, and the picture probably didn't even do the statue justice. He skimmed the caption beneath the picture. The wind dancer, recognized as one of the most valuable art objects in the world. The famous eyes of the wind dancer are two perfectly matched almond-shaped emeralds, 65.50 carats each. 447 diamonds encrust the base of the winged statue of Pegasus. In her book, Facts and Legends of the Wind Dancer, published in 1923, Lily Andreas claimed there were historical references indicating the wind dancer had been in the possession of Alexander the Great during his first campaign in Persia in 323 BC. Later, it was said to have passed to Charlemagne during his reign. Andreas's book was the subject of controversy. She claimed that a host of the most influential figures throughout the ages had not only possessed the wind dancer, but asserted that it had contributed decisively to their success or failure. Both the antiquity of the statue and its history were challenged by the London and Cairo museums at the time. Alex impatiently closed Art Treasures of the World, pushing it aside as Pavel set a stack of 5 more volumes on the desk. He already knew the contents of Lily Andreas's book. He remembered Ledford quoting it chapter and verse, as if it were the Bible. Pavel raised one bushy black brow. No luck? Alex shook his head. Too early. I need facts, not legends. He reached for the top book on the stack, flipped it open to the index, ran his finger down the chapter headings until he found the one labeled Wind Dancer, then thumbed to the correct page. For God's sake, you'd think the damn statue had disappeared from the planet. Speed reading through the chapter, he muttered, At least this book gets us out of the roaring 20s. It mentions the wind dancer's confiscation by the Germans in 1939 and its discovery in Hitler's mountain retreat after World War II. He slammed the book shut. But I'm wasting time. Call the curator of the Louvre and ask where the wind dancer is now. Pavel finished for him. He shook his head, an amused grin creasing his weathered, heavily jowled face. You know, of course, they'll probably try to trace the call and notify Interpol. I imagine the management of the Louvre is a bit touchy since they lost the Mona Lisa yesterday. Maybe, Alex said, abstracted. He stood up and walked across the room to a long table on which a number of headlined newspaper articles had been cut out and arranged like pieces of a jigsaw puzzle. Michelangelo's David disappears from Florence. Terrorist group Black Medina assassinates Cardinal on way to Vatican. Police baffled at Rembrandt's Night Watch theft from Amsterdam Museum. Terrorist group Black Medina kills 3 in bombing at Charles de Gaulle Airport. Mona Lisa stolen from Louvre. Several other articles lay under a jade paperweight, and Alex glanced at them as he tried to decide whether he was interested enough to commit to it. If he was right, that call would cause even more furor than Pavel believed. Oh, what the hell? Why not? He couldn't just sit there on this damn mountain-top and let his brain grow barnacles. Phone anyway. Give my name and say I'm doing research for a novel. I need to know where the wind dancer is right now. The Andreas family lives in the U.S., but I recall an article a few years ago about French public opinion on the wind dancer. The average French citizen considers it a national treasure. Find out more about that, if you can. Oh, the Louvre curator's name is Émile Deloge. Pavel nodded, his black eyes twinkling as he studied Alex's intent face. I call the Louvre, and you get another piece for your puzzle. He gave a mock sigh. And when the statue is stolen, at whose door would the police come knocking? He lightly tapped the massive bulk of his gray sweatered chest with one hand. Pavel Rubansky's door. You bring me nothing but trouble. If I had any sense, I'd leave you and find a job with someone who...